Hey everyone, BioFan here. Many are pretty curious about Anthem's story, what it's about, what quality we can expect, etc. While we're pretty early on in the game's marketing, let's take a look at who's actually writing this game to see what quality we can expect from the new IP. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell next to it to stay up to date on all of Anthem's development. The original lead writer for Anthem was David Gaider. Gaider was a long-running BioWare veteran that was with the company for most of its existence, though he has since left to serve as the creative director at Beamdog Studios. Gaider worked on a large range of titles from Jade Empire to the entirety of the Dragon Age franchise up until Inquisition's DLC. Gaider notably is responsible for many beloved characters such as Morrigan, Alistair, Shale, Dorian Pavus, and much of Cassandra Pentagast in Inquisition. Drew Karpyshyn has recently returned to BioWare to work on Anthem, and could maybe be the current lead writer for the game. Karpyshyn previously worked on many of BioWare's earlier titles, including the original Mass Effect and its 3 associated novels, Revelation, Ascension, and Retribution, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars The Old Republic, and Jade Empire. He also worked on Mass Effect 2 as well. Karpyshyn has written lovable characters such as Tali and Liara T'Soni in the original Mass Effect game. Another long-running BioWare veteran, Mary Kirby, has worked on the entirety of the Dragon Age series. Kirby notably brought to life everyone's favorite dwarf, Varric Tethras, the stoic but lovable Sten, the adorable and shy fish-out-of-water Meryl, and the bewitchingly guile Vivienne. Jay Watamaniak, a BioWare writer on Mass Effect 2's Shadow Broker DLC, Mass Effect 3, and Mass Effect Andromeda, is now creating story content for Anthem. He's notably responsible for Ashley, Miranda, and Grunt content in Mass Effect 3. Some of my personal favorite quests in that game, actually. Another writer on the Shadow Broker DLC, Sylvia Fekete-Kuti, was a part of the team of writers on Anthem for just shy of 2 years. Fekete-Kuti recently stated on Twitter that she's no longer working on Anthem and has moved to a different BioWare project. Possibly Dragon Age 4. We'll see. Fekete-Kuti previously wrote on Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age Inquisition. On Inquisition, she helmed the content for areas such as Crestwood, the Hissing Wastes, and the Fallow Mire, as well as plots What Pride Had Wrought and Champions of the Just. She also worked on Inquisition's Jaws of Hakon and Trespasser DLCs. On Mass Effect 3, Fekete-Kuti was responsible for the Ardat Yakshi Monastery mission and 2 of the Rannoch plots as well. In terms of characters, Fekete-Kuti is known for writing our diplomatic advisor, Josephine Montillier, in Inquisition, and everyone's favorite Asari, the infamous Liara T'Soni, in Mass Effect 3. Another Inquisition writer, Brianne Battier, is also writing on Anthem. Battier previously worked on Dragon Age Inquisition and gifted us with our military advisor, one of my favorite Dragon Age characters, Colin Rutherford. Best-selling author Alexander Freed is another member of the Anthem writing team. Freed's previous works include the novelization of Star Wars Rogue One, Star Wars Battlefront Twilight Company, and other Star Wars novels. Freed served as the lead writer on Star Wars The Old Republic at BioWare Austin for 6 years, and also worked on their eventually cancelled IP, Shadow Realms. Freed and Karpyshyn aren't the only published book writers on the Anthem team, as Sam Maggs is serving as an assistant writer on the game. Maggs worked in gaming journalism at Post Arcade for 3 years, and her published works are Wonder Women, 25 Innovators, Inventors, and Trailblazers Who Changed History, and The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy. While Maggs doesn't have previous game writing experience, a writing position at a AAA company such as BioWare has a lot of applicants, and is extremely competitive. So for her to be hired without previous experience writing games means that her game writing fiction skills must be top-notch. So what does all this mean for Anthem's story content that we've yet to see much of? Well, you've got writers who crafted some of the most beloved characters in BioWare's arsenal. So I would, at the very least, expect interesting and engaging characters. Whether or not those characters will be companions is still up in the air. But keep in mind that pre-release trailers often incorporate a lot of manipulation that deviates from the way the game will actually end up, to show off certain aspects and things. I like to call this trailer magic. Though I doubt that a BioWare game, especially one with these writers, would not at the very least have an iconic and significant supporting character cast, if not companions. Given that there are several successfully published book authors on the team, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it now. There will be novels related to the Anthem franchise. Following a typical BioWare pattern, like with their previous games and books related to them, there will be at least one, possibly more, prior to the game, and maybe a few more afterward. Lastly, just know that these are all the publicly known writers. There could be others on the team. Do you think Anthem will have companions? What are some of your theories about the story content of the game? Tell me all about it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And, while you're down there, be sure to obliterate that like button and share this video with your friends, family, random strangers, it's all good. For instant news coverage of BioWare games, feel free to follow me over on Twitter and other forms of social media, links to which can be found down in the video description. If you like my videos and would like to help support my channel, head on over to my Patreon page to donate.